Welcome to the USA Crokinole videos continuing coverage of the 2025 Connecticut Crokinole Cup, an NCAA Tier 3 event. You can learn more about the NCAA and the tour at the nationalcrokinoleassociation.com. This event was held in Lancaster, Pennsylvania on November 8th. We are picking up in the morning doubles round robin. This is a match between Eric Mammen and his teammate Michael Swope versus Laureen Jones and Jonathon Correa. Eric's currently ranked 14th in the NCAA and second in the NECT. Michael is currently 22nd and ranks 4th in the NECT. Laureen and Jonathon are ranked 89th and 48th, respectively, in the NCAA. It looks like Jonathon's going to lead us off here in round one. He secures the open 20. See if Eric can answer. Oh, unfortunately, goes a little long. And Laureen is going to try to secure the 20. Oh, and the off. They go up 2 in the cup. Michael's able to bring it back to a 2-1 score in the cup. Eric's going to come up the line, gets the off, and evens things out in the cup. Now Eric and Michael are ahead. They have hammers, so they have a very slim lead at this point, and they're going to be content to just stay away and make Jonathon and Laureen work to try to catch up via 20. So Eric's happy to stay out there. That disc is up against the post. It would be difficult shot for Laureen to get in and secure a 20 with that position. Not impossible, just difficult. Well, she tries. Unfortunately, thins the disc. Sits on the 10-15 line. And Michael, a nice shot. He not only gets the off, but he's able to roll towards Eric, which decreases the chance of Jonathon being able to angle in off that shot. He does have an angle in off this disc in the 15. Unfortunately, hits it head on and unable to angle in. And does not secure the off. Eric, unfortunately, was trying to get the off and roll out and just happened to lose his shooter. Easy to do on these boards. They are super fast, and it does not take much for it to get away from you. Laureen secures the off. She probably wanted to carve in a little more aggressively. They are only having a handful of discs left. And Michael unable to secure the off. Not the end of the world. He does leave his shooter nicely between those pegs, making it a more difficult shot for Jonathon. He's just going to go, I think he was just going for a simple off there, caught that peg, unfortunately did not secure the off. And they're going to need a little bit more than that to get back in this with only 3 shots remaining. And Eric was probably trying to stay between the pegs there. He inadvertently came in, and we'll see if Laureen can nab the 20 off this shot. Oh, she was trying. Unfortunately, the ricochet off the peg denied her 20. Michael's looking things over. It's a bit of a messy board. I'm trying to make sure they secure the advantage on the board. Jonathon also looking things over. They really need a lot to happen in these next 2 shots. Unfortunately, that will not do it. He inadvertently peels his shooter. Eric's probably just going to look for a hit in the stick. He does. He tries to roll away a bit, again, to not give Laureen an easy angle in for a 20. And Laureen is trying to angle in. Oh, no, she had a bit of a hanger there and was able to secure that. However, they're currently doing the math to see if Michael even needs to shoot. They have a 20 advantage in the cup. Red does. Black has 30 on the board. I don't think Michael even needs to shoot here, but he just touches it, and Black is able to pull ahead on the board. And you see Jonathon just pulls those 2 discs off. It cancels those 2 15s, making the math a little bit easier 10, 15, and 3 5s. They have, I believe, 40 points on the board, overcoming that 20 advantage Red had in the cup. So they're resetting. We're going to get started here on round 2. Those 2 points go to Eric and Michael. I believe Eric will be leading us off, and he is able to secure the open 20. See if Laureen can match him. Unfortunately, haven't seen a lot of 20s races yet in this match. Had a pretty busy board last time. We'll see how things unfold this time. Michael's able to come up the line with a very nice 20 off that hanger, and Jonathon gets them in the cup with a nice open 20 there. They do have hammer, but they're down 2-1 in the cup. Laureen gets a touch 20. A little tricky whether she could have got that off or not. Now that she didn't get that off, unfortunately, Michael was able to secure that open 20, and if Laureen was able to secure that off, Jonathon would be shooting an open 20 here to try to regain the advantage. Unfortunately, he has to hit the opponent's disc and is unable to answer. Now Eric, very aggressive. Huge follow through, rattled out, and now Laureen, similar, trying to follow through. Unfortunately, she catches a peg and leaves a potential drop back here for Michael. They are up at 20, so he could be looking to further the cup lead here, or he could just be trying to maybe roll away a bit to not give Jonathon an easy 20. I think he was trying to drop back there, and it came up nicely, not giving Jonathon a whole lot of options. Though I wonder if Jonathon could come down the line for a touch 20 and even him up in the cup. However, they would have a lot of time left to deal with the increasing number of black discs on the board. I think Jonathon's probably just going for the out here. Yep. Those discs were touching. He could probably see almost exactly where that disc was going to go. Eric might just go for the touch here. Oh, very close to draining the 20 for red. I think Eric was trying to cut through that back alley, which is a very difficult shot, and he almost got it. Caught a peg and fortunately avoided disaster. If I'm Laureen, we're down here. We're halfway through our buttons. I might be going through my own here, trying to secure the 20 and have my disc hit that one closest to Jonathon. Unfortunately, the peg had other ideas. Michael's going to try to come up the line again and nails it. Now they're up 2 in the cup. Jonathon is starting to get away from him a bit. He needs to slow down the ever-increasing lead of Mammen and Swope. Laureen needs to do something here, but unfortunately, those black discs are not in a great place. And she inadvertently loses her shooter. Michael's content to stay on the outside, again, trying to keep any opportunities from Jonathon to score 20 here. There was no easy 20 there, but Jonathon almost made some magic happen there. He was close. See, I'm not sure if Eric was trying for a little follow through 20 there. Since they do have a bit of a lead, he could be aggressive there, but lost his shooter, but at least did get the out. Laureen needs a little bit more than sticking on the outside. Oh no, she lost her shooter, my bad. Yeah, Michael just piles on there. That will be round 2. Mammen and Swope take another 2 points. Players resetting to begin round 3. I believe Laureen is going to start us off. Hits her open 20. See if Michael can answer. He does. Maybe we'll have our first little open 20 race here. Not as common in doubles, but typically does pop up here and there. Unfortunately, Jonathon goes a little long. Eric's probably content to just tap this and clog up the lane. Beautiful shot. Laureen's only option now is potentially angling it off that black disc and bumping her own in, which is extremely difficult. Oh man, I think she's actually going at it more direct. You may see more of that disc than it looked to me. Unfortunately, she hit a peg. She did secure the off, but given that Swope and Mammen are hammer, Correa and Jones have some work to do. Plenty of time left in this round. Eric trying to decide how aggressive they want to be, probably. It's early in the round. Probably just going to secure the off, maybe come off that peg and just not give Laureen an easy angle in for a 20. Oh, and instead of pulling that disc back, it eked forward a bit, and now she does have a line for that 20. See if she can pick out the right angle. Yes, she can. Nice angle in 20. Swope is, I think he was probably trying to carve in there, or angle in for a 20, just unfortunately hit it a little straight. Don't think there's a drop back there, so Carrera will probably just leaves it beautifully between two pegs, clogging up that lane. Eric can only fire a follow through, and what a follow through. Just a hair off, or that would have been good. That was very impressive. That was a long follow through. Laureen's unable to make him pay. There was a bit of a hanger there, but it was a fairly heavy hanger. It looked like. Now I'll see if Swope can take care of this hanger. Unfortunately, leaves it a little short, and now the hanger passes on to Jonathon. And Jonathon is able to secure the 20. They go ahead 2 20s in the cup. Eric and Michael do have hammer, but they need to get going here. They have a minus 40 disadvantage in the cup. So Laureen and Jonathon are probably looking to either pile on with more 20s and more realistically just look for doubles. I think those other two discs were set up potentially for a double. That peg may be in the way. Now it gives Michael a chance to drain an open 20 and bring them closer. Now Eric and Michael are looking in much better position with two discs on the board and the hammer. They'll probably be able to overcome that cup deficit from points on the board at this pace. I think Jonathon was looking at that double. It is very tempting sitting there, but those pegs are in the way. Eric misses an open 20 up the line to even him up in the cup, but he does grow their lead on the board to 3 discs. Laureen really needs something big here, like an off 20 or a double 20. See what she can do. Unfortunately, just gets the off. They only have one more disc. They really needed something there. And I think Swope's just going to try to get the off. It is a pretty important off. Really tricky angle. He's got to come at it up the line and still cut the disc quite a bit to get it to leave. And what a shot that was. That was not an easy shot. He executed it perfectly. And Correa, I don't know if he has an angle in, try to catch a peg. Unfortunately, just the hit and stick's not gonna do it. Yeah, Eric able to go through his zone, get the off, and they have looks to be it's either 35 or 40 on the board to overcome that 20 deficit. So 6 points to 0 now for Mammen and Swope. Coming down to the final round, we'll see if I imagine these players are going to get a little pep in their step because they're probably getting to be up against the clock. Still no big 20s race here. There's a little hanger. See if Eric can make him pay for that. He can't, but he doesn't leave much for Laureen there. She's got a follow-through attempt. Unable to secure that follow-through and accidentally peels her shooter. Michael just a bit too hard. See if Carrera can make him pay for that. Unfortunately, he can't. Almost off a peg. And Eric trying to roll away, I imagine, didn't quite get the roll away. Hit it a little too flush, but Laureen's unable to make him pay for that. So now she left a bit of a hanger for Michael. See if he can come up the line and extend their 20 lead. He can. Not only does he get the 20, he gets a nice off with that. Correa, been there, has to be reminded that your opponent has a disc on the table. Eric's able to just stay outside, not giving Laureen much of an option. Unfortunately, catches a peg, which gives Michael a wide open 20, which he takes full advantage of, pulling them ahead 3 in the cup. And Jonathon angles in beautifully off that shot to bring it back. However, Mammen answers with an open 20. Lorraine's unable to keep up. Players are really moving. I'm guessing they're up against the clock right now. 2 red on the board, however, black is up 3 in the cup. And Mammen pushes through that, not giving Laureen any great angles for the 20. Oh, yep, they're calling it with a few discs left. That means the clock expired, and in this tournament, you basically play to the hammer, which would be Laureen, and then you go from there if you run out of time. So at some point during that round, time expired, and they played to the hammer. Well, thank you for watching our coverage of the 2025 Connecticut Crokinole Cup.